The leg you want is $45,000.
Yes.
And that's not the cheapest, and that's not the most expensive.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You're not going to be an Olympic gold runner?
No, with that, no. It's just a leg that would allow me to be able to do things that I want to do, meaning like if I want to ride a bike, if I want to be able to, if I'm walking with my niece and if she runs off on the street, I can actually run behind her to get her instead of, I can't because I'm just, I have to walk because my knee won't catch up with me. So this knee is a smarter knee. It's a computerized knee. So it remembers, so when I run, it remembers that I once ran because it has it in its memory. Because you have to put those things in your memory. So it helps you do that. So you can right away do things.
That's crazy.
So the first, I think you record things in its memory. Like they make you do that while you're in the office in the computer chip.
So it's like in the video game, like a controller, you have to calibrate your controller and stuff.
Right. But unfortunately, I don't have one on me. It's through a computer, like just a computer, but you kind of plug in the memory, and that's when you can do that. It's like, it looks like, when you trying to do a DJ or it's like lines and graphs, and it looks like that. But I don't know what that means, but it means something to my prostheticist, pretty much. So
then, like, let's say you do something after you leave, and you go back to him. How does he program?
What it does is this is a great question. So of course he does like the first 15 whatever with you, so you can kind of move on. You can walk and be okay. But let's say I did something totally bizarre. So the first time I do it, it records it for the next time on its own. And then when he sees it, it's like, oh, there's another thing. So he'll adjust it. But sometimes certain things I don't repeat, then it's obvious. So if they're not being used, it's kind of like how you get on your desktop, if certain things are not being used, it just tells you to put it in the unused folder, whatever. It's kind of like that, and so certain steps I didn't do, so say, she's not using that, so they can take that out because it's a limited memory. So
nice. Wow, that is so cool. Wow.
I didn't know they were so advanced.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's really neat. So the reason why, so the reason even why I'm over it to 45,000 is because what happened was, so I found out I like this guy, I love this guy, Josh. I'm like, oh, you want to do my thing? But he's like, we don't accept that. No, sorry. So he's like, let's find people. So he helped me find there were only 2 people. So I called one. The guy was so rude. He didn't want to talk to me on the phone. He's like, well, I can't answer any of your questions because I asked him all these questions and he couldn't answer my questions on the phone. He's like, why don't you come? And to see him, it was like literally 3 weeks so I was like, he's too busy. Yeah. He's making way too much. He doesn't give a shit about me. So screw him. And then the second one was Biolab, this really weird looking guy. He was like really Einstein looking guy. And he was awesome. And he's the one who suggested that I go for a Rio leg. And he said, don't worry, I've worked with Aetna before and they have paid. So don't worry, I will. So this is why I got into that. And he told me the perfect knee for you is the Rio knee. And that cost $45,000. Which later on, he told me that my insurance, of course, his office called me. They said, no, they're only paying $2,000. They weren't budging it. And they said to appeal it. I appealed it. They appealed it. It didn't work. And then they told me to, what they can do is they can get the knee for me somebody is selling it for cheaper for $17,000. So I can get just the knee for $17,000. And I was like, wow, that's a great deal, right? So I could do that. So I was like, okay. That's when, the fundraising came and we're like, okay, we need to go because, I need to raise whatever I can for my leg. That's when, then Josh found out about the website because he still keeps in touch with me. He's like, oh, did you find anything? What happened? And I told him this is what's going on. And he's like, you don't have to have the 45,000. There are other options as well. Why don't we sit down again? And I'm like, but you're not in my insurance. He's like, don't worry, I won't charge you anything. You don't have to pay anything for my visit. You just come, and he's the one who offered to do. So I got casted. I have pictures of it too. I'm gonna blog about that.
Yeah.
I got casted for my socket on Thursday.
Did you read your article? Did you read the last blog?
Yeah, so I need to write about it. So it didn't really. So that's when he told me it didn't work, and he casted me. He's like, "We'll do the socket for you," which is a $5,000 deal. So he's there doing that for us, which for me, which is nice. And but I love them. Orthotic Solutions. They're like definitely the best.
Orthotic Solutions. Okay.
Orthotic Solutions. They're definitely the best in the area because first time I called him because I was calling around and I called him and he spent 45 minutes with me on the phone. He's like, okay, these are my options. He's like, this is what happens. This is what to expect. Go be a member for the Amputee Coalition of America. He told me, he walked me through everything. It was just awesome, awesome guy.
That's great.
Yeah, he's really cool.
That. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
those are the doctors that you wish everyone would strive to be, you know?
Right. He was really awesome. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I learned so much. I always wanted to do, like, because I've done so much volunteer work, you know, I'm always very compassionate and I wanted to do a lot of volunteer work. But it kind of taught me something different, like certain things that I've learned because as a physician, as a medical student or as a medical school graduate, I can say that when I was like growing up and if somebody got sick, like especially Ebony, if she got sick, I would give her, I was like, here, take this in the morning, take this in the afternoon, do this, you know, and then if she still complained about being sick, I was like, well, why are you sick? I gave you enough medicine, you know what I mean? That was my attitude because I really didn't get, it doesn't really just solve things right away, you know? But Ebony had a lot more other different issues because she comes from a household when she gets sick, they get like this bell and they ring it, their mom runs up. You know, like this is where she comes from. So she's like so babied, you know, like if you get sick, their mom would give you a bell and then, you know, you have that bell so you don't yell, you know.
Oh, wow.
I mean, really ridiculous. Meanwhile, in our house, it's like, you're sick. Okay, just stay away. Stay in that room because I'm not trying to get sick. You know, that was how we were treated in our house. Like my mom was like, you're sick, okay, stay in the room because I don't want to get sick. Nobody wants to get sick, you know? So it was like that, you know? And then here, and then I come from my medical field, like I'm like, okay, well, give you the medicine and you'll get well. But that was my attitude. But now I think more and more, I think I've learned, like, it's just not that, man. Because I knew I had fucking medicine and it was so painful still. So it definitely taught me a lot, and I think I'll definitely be a better doctor for it now. You know?